over to our left. And the pitch. That fastball stays high. So I think Facebook, good Lord. I think YouTube is back up and live. If you want to switch back over to that, you're more than welcome, or you can stay here on the Mixlr app, MixLR, however you want to say it. 2-1 pitch. That one going off the corner. 3 balls and a strike to Sam Chiz. Coach Romano gives him some applause here. Good at bat here from Sam. Joel Riley in the first base coach's box. Bench coaches Travis Collier. Head coach Tom Skula. The all-time winningest coach in Fort Mill post 43 history. And the pitch from Childers. Here it comes. Slider. Good eye. Great pitch. Close to take, but ball 4. Great call by the umpire.
Now batting,
by the way, that was not in the zone.
Busquet.
You'll hear some people say, oh, it was outside the zone. It was outside the zone. So that's a second walk issued by Corbin. And here comes some kid named Busquet. And I don't see Eddie anywhere. Clouds have rolled across Inman Mills Park. Thank goodness. It's cooled off tremendously. And the pitch swung on, and this one's hit foul over our heads and out of play. Hunter Busquet, a graduate of Clover High School. He's a product of CBC Academy. Jeff Schaefer. Over it. Now it's called the Stick. We call the CG Dreamfields or the Tuck. Now it's called the Stick. Pitch to Biscuit. Swung on a miss. Breaking ball on the inner half, and Hunter had a home run cut. 0-2 to Biscay. Drew Gaff has a bat. He works on deck. No cows tonight. There's no more cows. They're no longer grazed. The field beyond the center field fence. If you're on YouTube, you can see that. And now there's an issue with Rodriguez's glove. I think part of the webbing might have come undone. So there'll be an equipment timeout here. Now we're ready to go back to baseball. The pitch from Childers. This one is fisted foul and out of play. Now Hunter fighting. Fouling off pitch after pitch. And that's a good call from Fort Mill. You are behind, you need base runners, right? Work the count, make them sweat a little bit on a very hot night, 90 degrees, but it feels like it's 99. That pitch in the dirt, that's a nice stop by Rodriguez. That's a slider that's basically behind the left-handed batter's box. Pitch from Childers. Breaking ball stayed high the entire time. Appreciate Elton Chapman stopping by to see us. Good man. I mean that. He is a good guy. We met him back in 2019 and became fast friends. I'm humbled and lucky to call him a friend. Pitch to Busquet. Here it comes, and that one's fisted foul. Back to the screen. And a nice little batter here between Corbin Childers and Hunter Busquet.
He was on FaceTime with 3 of them the other day.
Scott Phillips listening in. Part of the board of the Fort Mill Athletic Booster Club. Just having their golf tournament coming up in a few months, if I remember correctly. Raise money for Fort Mill Athletics. A misnomer about that. The pitch from Childers swung on a miss. Through the slider, and Hunter swinging right over the top of it. So that's the second out is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So runner on first, 2 down for Gaff. That's the 3rd strikeout for Childers, by the way. And to finish that thought real quick. So Fort Mill Athletic Booster Club. So a lot of people think that's for this sport or that sport. It's actually for all 19 on campus. Boys and girls, does not matter. And actually there's 20 now, I think, because they added boys volleyball. And I think that makes 20. Pitch right on the outside corner called strike. 3-0 Inman is the score. Fort Mill with work to do against Corbin Childers. That pitch, fastball stays high and outside. We're in the top of the second inning. The runner at first, there's 2 out. Where am I going with that? The next pitch will be number 39 for Corbin Childers. And on a hot night like tonight, and he's had base runners in both innings he's pitched in, those are stressful pitches, so it's really not 38. It's more than that. That pitch, outside corner, good eye by Drew Gaff. But a great call by the umpire. And he's been consistent with that, much to the dismay of the locals wearing umpiring gear. But no, that's not been in the zone, and he's called that the same way for both teams through these first 2. Fair is fair and love and war. Or so they say. Pitch to Drew Gaff. Nice stop by Rodriguez. There's another slider, and now Childers wipes his brow with his pitching hand and then wipes it off on his jersey. And you can see he's pooling sweat out there. You can see the color of his numbers and the letters across the chest are starting to turn a different shade of white. So 3 balls and a strike to Drew Gaff. And the pitch from Corbin Childers in the dirt, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk issued by Corbin. Now he's got to throw more pitches, and we go back to the top of the order. And
Eli Braddock.
Eli sent a missile out in the right
He
field.
did. I was walking over the hill when he hit it, and I heard it come off the bat. Oh, that's hit hard, and I actually saw it. Line drive over the fence. Wow.
Yeah. Barreled it up. And that's been his luck about the last 3 weeks, it seems like. Talked to him about it, but he didn't seem discouraged by it. Pitch, fastball stays high. He was very he's very psychological about it. He said, "Hey, it's baseball. It'll start hitting the grass."
Amen. That's all you can do. You can't get discouraged. You're hitting the ball hard. Just keep going. Lord, don't change nothing. Right now would be a great time for him to put one in a gap.
That would be beautiful.
Steal one of them.
That one flips the outside corner at the bottom of the zone. Eli not a fan of the call. 1 ball and 1 strike. The runner out at second base is Sam Chiz. He can run. So if anything does go to the gap, or if it's a little flare, you're going to see Jonathan Romano give the old windmill. That pitch, that one is hit hard, high in the air, deep right field. The right fielder misplayed it. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Sam Chiz will score. Getting the go sign around third is Drew Gaff. The right fielder fell, and Fort Mill cuts the lead to 1. That'll be a base hit and an E9 and a 3-2.
We had a sniper somewhere. The right fielder fell. The right field going for the ball. Eli rounds first, gets halfway to second. The right field going for the ball. Eli rounds first, gets halfway to second. He looks up to go to third. He falls. So I don't know how the sniper. I guess the sniper, because the uniforms look the same. The sniper got both.
Did you put your bear traps out there?
I must have.
Is that what this is?
It works for the right fielder, but I wouldn't have done it to Eli. Eli should be standing on third now, but he definitely face planted halfway to second.
Oh, I'm sure he'll hear about that in Fort Mill dugouts.
Oh, yes.
Nothing but sweet love from that dugout.
Go Nico.
Here's Bartolotti, pitched to Nico, swung off out straight back off, I think off the shell of the catcher. Thank y'all for joining us tonight, whether you're on MixLR app or if you're on YouTube. Hopefully we won't get kicked off of YouTube again. We're going to have to mute it, I guess, anytime a song gets played, but that's okay. We'll work it out.
Or I could just sing to you. Like that. I got you quiet, didn't I? I found your mute button, didn't I?
My wife wants to know what my mute button is. The pitch swung on and fouled off right at home plate. But normally, Nico Bartolotti, he got 2 strikes on him. He kind of feels like, yeah, I got you right where I want you. He does not strike out. He does not strike out much. And that's not just the Fort Mill Post 43. It's a Clover Blue Eagle thing. His teammates cheering him on over there in the third base dugout. The pitch from Childers. That pitch is swung on. It's going to be hit through the hole right side, getting the ghost sign around third is Craddock. The right fielder's got no shot, but he's going to take a shot. The throw will get cut off, and they've got Nico Bartolotti in a rundown. Nico will turn. He'll get tagged out, but it'll go as an RBI base hit. Craddock will score, and we've got a brand new ball game. Give Nico Bartolotti a base hit. He leads the team. And give him an RBI. The ball was cut off, but Eli scores. So once the inning was over, didn't start very well, but boy, it ended with a bang. 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and in the end, nobody left on base. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Boy, this game looks a lot different now, doesn't it? Fort Mill 3, Inman 3. Back in a moment. We are from our Broadcasting Network, powered by Mixlr.
Thanks for coming out on such a hot night. We hope you enjoy yourself.
We should ask Miss Kathy, does he do any yard work at home? Lane Ross? Makes you wonder. The pitch, slider nowhere near, ball 4. So Lane had him, was headed in the count,
Now
but
batting,
loses him.
Perry Dyer.
That'll be the first walk issued by Lane Ross. So 1 on for Dyer. He walked and scored last inning.
Definitely the quick inning here would help, especially after coming off a 3, scoring 3. You don't want to give any back right.
And you'd like to see Lane Ross, hopefully go 3 or 4 maybe. Pitch from Lane. Fastball stays high and inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Harry Dyer. Small world. Scott Phillips, who's on the board of the Fort Mill Athletic Booster Club, has known Elton Chapman dang near his whole life. Small world, ain't it? Yep. Pitch. That's in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher, Drew Gaff, and moving up 90 feet will be Metcalf. That'll be a wild pitch. And a runner in scoring position with nobody out. And it's more common than you know. I mean, I was born and raised in Greenville County, which is just up the road a piece, but I've actually spent more years in Fort Mill than I spent anywhere else.
Really?
Yep, that pitch high and inside, and that's going to be ball 4. So now back-to-back walks to start the bottom of the second inning.
Now batting the catcher,
Warming up the
Johan
bullpen,
Rodriguez.
Blake Sanders. And here comes Johan Rodriguez, who is a tough customer. We've already seen that once tonight. A great at bat. He walked and came around to score the 3rd run for Inman. Lane out of the stretch. The pitch. Outside corner at the knees. Good pitch. You missed it earlier. The Fort Mill coaches set up a tent over in the third base dugout. There's a reason for that. The pitch swung on, and this one hit off the end of the bat foul. Heads up over there. But no balls and 2 strikes. And the reason for that is normally this time of the day, the sun is literally staring right into that dugout, and you cannot see it. You can have all the Oakley prisms and Nike sunglasses all you want. You cannot see a thing. And Lane will do the old spinneroo. And Lane will do the old spinneroo. It's a nice dance move, by the way. From Ross. Swung on and popped up. Right side, but deep. Sam Chiz over near the line. Still going back. Will have to jump in the air and make the catch. Both runners are trying to tag up, and they will, and they'll move up 90 feet. So it is the first out of the inning, but a productive one as both runners will tag. Now second and third, and 1 down for Caden Roach. Caden 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out.
Now batting Caden Roach.
All right, got a battle here, boys. So John, how do you score that last one at home? That just goes down as oh gosh.
It goes down as an F9.
F9. It does not go down to sacrifice.
No.
I've been asked that
right.
all my life. How does it go down?
Right. So by the rule book, the sacrifice fly, in order to be credited with that, the run has to score because it takes away the at-bat and gives you a plate appearance. Not in that case. The pitch, that stays high. Although you could argue the merits of it, it's not exactly the same, but it's a really close cousin, if you will. So it's a productive out. So you actually are penalizing the batter for actually doing their job.
Yeah, because if you bunt in that situation, if you bunt in that situation, still move the runner over.
That's sacrifice.
You know, it's a sacrifice.
Correct. That pitch bangs the outside corner, 2 balls and a strike to Caden Roach, who is a stocky young man. There's some rules in the game of baseball that probably need to be looked at and tweaked a little bit, but changing anything nowadays is not that simplistic anymore. That pitch misses low and outside with the slider. Good pitch, though. But it goes back to the other night when Sam Chiz was on the bump for Fort Mill, and Sam said to his dad, Ryan, he said, that is the most disciplined team, talking about Inman, he's ever faced. The pitch, that one swung on and ripped into right field for a base hit that will score at least 1, and then Sam drops the ball in right field. And now getting a late stop sign as Sam whistles a ball in because he's got that pitcher's arm out there, but it'll go as an RBI base hit for Caden Roach. Metcalf scores, and Inman retakes the lead. It's 4-3.
So this is one thing we talked about last
Now batting Corbin Childer.
Inman's batting order. It doesn't matter if they get behind. Every one of them just slap it to the opposite field. They wait on that outside pitch. That was just the kid did not swing hard at all. It's just a line drive back.
You really don't have – a lot of people are under the misconception you swing harder, it goes further. That's not necessarily the case. Let the ball do the work. Pitch, that one's in the dirt, and I stopped by Drew Gaff on the slider. And what I mean by that is these are not wooden bats that are going to splinter into a million pieces. These are composite, mostly aluminum bats. So the exit velocity on them automatically going to be 8 to 10 miles an hour, roughly, faster. That pitch low and inside. So I agree with you, and it's a great point you just made. I hadn't really thought about it a whole lot, but if you just throw that piece of aluminum through the zone and let the ball just kind of go where it goes.
And that's all they're doing with 2 strikes. I'd like to see our guys start busting the inside. There's another one.
That pitch is swung on and hit under the glove of Scott Young into right field. Coming home to score will be Dyer. It's an RBI base hit for Caden Roach, or for Childers, I should say. And it's 5-3. And more stirring over in the Fort Mill dugout as the 2 walks to lead off.
Now batting Ricky
come home to roost.
Montalvo.
Montalvo. He's 1 for 1 tonight with an RBI. That pitch called a strike. So 3 in the bottom of the first for Inman, 3 in the top of the second for Fort Mill. Now 2 more for Inman here in the bottom of the second. And boy, if this turns into a 13-11 kind of game, I don't think either coach is going to like that very much.
No, sir. I don't know if anybody might be picturing that. I know we will.
And I'm trying to remember the winner of the series. Here's the pitch from Lane, outside corner, just off the outside corner.
Go, Blue!
Ball and strike. Facing, I think either Florence or Rockville.
You talking about the winner of this?
The winner of this.
I have no clue. I haven't even seen that series.
Pitch here from Lane Ross. That's swung on and missed. There's a little end run stat from Lane. And I like Lane Ross's fastball. And, you know, I wish he'd show a little bit more often, especially if he comes inside, kind of get it above the hands a little bit.
I'd like for him to bring it inside. You know, everything's outside, middle of the lake.
Pitch from Lane. Swung on and a hard hit ground ball to Gabe. He'll go to second for 1. The relay to first in time. 6-4-3 double play. Will retire to side. But more damage done by Inman post 45. They scored twice on 3 base hits. No errors. 2 left on base. We have the bottom of the second inning. Inman 5 and Fort Mill 3. Back in a moment on the We Are Fort Mill Broadcasting Network.
Audio is skipping. Audio is skipping.
It's skipping?
Yeah. My parents said, no, I pulled it up. Like every like second. Here.
Anything to do with this microphone?
No. Worst case scenario is I'll have to restart it, which I'm not afraid to do.
The last like 30 seconds were good. So like about 2 minutes ago. So the last 30 seconds were good.
Is that when it started though, or has it been going?
No,
on?
it isn't. My parents pinged me and I like pulled it up real
gotcha.
quick while I was getting the pitches. And now it seems fine.
Okay, I won't kill it
You're on
then.
wireless, aren't you? Is that why?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's probably why.
but hey John, if it continues, let me know and I'll switch Wi-Fi. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody, to Spartanburg County and Inman Mills Park. The old Inman Mills up the hill to our right, and it is 5-3 Inman. And Corbin, I've been calling him Childers as Childers, apparently. He will go back out on the mound for Inman post 45, Coach Skinner. And so far, 2 innings pitched for Corbin, 2 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walked 3, struck out 3, 47 pitches as we head to the top of the third. And it'll be the heart of the order for Fort Mill. Try to tie this game up or maybe even take the lead. Gabe Simmons, Scott Young, Zach Jennings, 3, 4, and 5. I want to say a special thank you to John Jennings, Mom and Dad, who let us know the audio is on the fritz a little bit. So if that continues, let us know, and we will kill the broadcast and start anew. They're in the bottom of the 4th, down at the home of the Bearcats, Rock Hill 4, Lancaster 2. Thank you, Mac, for that. That score holds. Rock Hill would advance to next week.
Now batting, Gabe Simmons.
And I don't think anybody's advanced yet, but there have been some teams that have been, well, no, that's not true. No, nobody's advanced, but there are a few teams that have been eliminated.
Oh, yeah.
They went 0-2, and they have had their season unfortunately come to an end. So here's Simmons. He walked back in the first. And now I feel bad about what I said about John James. His mom and dad are listening. The pitch swung on a miss. There's a home run cut as something off the outside corner. Sort of a hybrid stance for Corbin. That pitch high and inside. 1-1 to count. So a lot of guys that go into this windup, you'll see them take that right foot and move it, go into the rocking chair. Not Corbin.
Slice step back and throw.
That pitch low and inside. I guess if you wanted to compare it to somebody, maybe Spencer Strider of the Braves, where he just has that right foot on the rubber, that left foot kind of in front of the other one, about halfway back, and he just kicks that one foot, bang. Pitch high inside to Simmons.
If you're asking me, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you the last time I watched a Major League game. I don't have a clue.
Even when he doesn't know the answer, he's still colorful, ladies and gentlemen. Love this man. And his son is just like him.
Oh, unfortunately.
The pitch, that one swung on and hit foul out of play. Lines up behind us. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight wherever you may be across the fruited plains, whether you're on YouTube or on the MixLR app. Fort Mill fans made the trip here in the middle of the week. Well,
Never get it back here.
pitch from Corbin. Swung on and hit a line drive, center field. Popped up, really, drifting out into right center field and making the catch for inman is number 9.
Now batting,
That
Scott
is Montero.
Young.
So 1 up and 1 down for Scott Young.
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was a line drive at first, and then it just sort of hit a wall and just hung in the air. Scott Young struck out swinging back in the first inning.
You're not coming back. You're not coming back to the top foot.
Pitch from Childers. That one stays high and inside. Scott checks his ear hole. No, you're okay, bud. Congratulations to his younger brother, Zach, and the junior team. They're going to play next week against the Warhawks. Game 1 is Monday night at Catawba Ridge, 7 p.m. The pitch, that one is swung on a hard hit ground ball to the shortstop. He'll gun it across, and nice dig out over there at first base. That's a nice play on both ends. A nice dig by Caden Roach. 2 up and 2 down for Zach
Now
Jennings.
batting, Zach Jennings.
Calling John Jennings. John? Nowhere. I bet he went to the bathroom.
He's like me high. Young one's up the bat.
No, he doesn't. He goes right down here with the camera.
Videos him.
He videos all of them. Yep.
He's sitting over to the
He's
right.
standing over the right of. All right. Pitch. Slider on the outside corner. Good pitch.
We have to chase that. It's going to be trouble.
It is.
That was
That's nasty.
started off right on the outside corner and broke out.
Pitch from Corbin. Fastball high and inside. So he kind of goes soft away, hard high and inside. Now coming back in. What do you do here? Tyler checking in with us as well. Good to hear from you. Pitch from Corbin in the dirt. Nice check swing there by Zach. And I want to say hello to the athletic director of the Greer Warhawks, Cyrus Bearden, is tuning in tonight. He's probably scouting that rascal. I believe Cyrus is a certified public accountant. You know a thing or 12 about those, don't you, Edward? You own your own business?
Yes, I do, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, the pitch swung on and ripped in the left center field. Center fielder's got to go dig it out. Zach can run. He makes a big turn, but he'll throw up the parachute. And it's a 2-out base knock for Jennings. So the inning will continue for Jonathan Barshow.
Now
Bad
batting,
boy
John
tonight, Nolan
Barshow.
Collier will come out there and grab the bat and take it back. Hard to believe that kid's 11 years old. Where did the time go? Unbelievable. 3 months old when I met Travis. Seems like last week. The pitch. That one's off the corner. I'm about to start my 11th year at the Hive. 11th year at the Hive as a public address announcer, and it'll be the start of my 7th year as the voice of the Jack.
I'm about to end my broadcasting career tonight, unless we win 2 games.
Then earlier it's it off. Nice play. Throw to first, got it. Oh, what a play. Third baseman flashes across and rips it across the diamond. Moss. That'll go in the book as a 5-3 put out, and it will retire. the side. No runs, a hit, no errors, 1 left on base. We head to the bottom of inning number 3, Inman 5 and Fort Mill 3.
JT, you need anything from me?
Oh, I'm good, man. You good?
Yeah, I didn't know if you needed any numbers from the other night
I'm
or
good.
anything or anything.
I went on, looked
Okay.
on Game
Okay.
Changer.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like,
appreciate
because
that.
I had I'm old school. That's how I keep it.
No, I read them and they made me cry, so I had to stop looking at them.
So I'm old school. That's how I keep it.
No, I read them and they made me cry, so I had to stop looking at them.
So game changer or the story?
But, yes.
Oh, you saw my story.
Yes.
Well, hey,
It was-
I'm like,
It was like reading a Danielle Steele novel. It started out really well and then just went to hell.
yeah, I was just like, I love Coach School, so I'm like, I'm going to give credit, get his guys in there.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yep. Sorry?
I was like, that's one thing I was going to do. I'm like, well, they made a couple of hits and stuff. I'm not going to omit them. Just because Coach School's always been good to me. So.
Yeah, Tom's good.
Oh, yeah.
Our athletic director's a pain in the butt, but our head coach is okay.
As much as these benches are.
And he's my ride home.
Was.
He was.
Better be careful.
Justin Mathis, ladies and gentlemen, the voice of Inman Post 45, a buddy of mine. He actually took a really cool gig, Coastal Carolina, and came back home, take care of family. Good family man, great dude all the way around. He's got numbers. He's on Twitter. He does write articles like the rest of us yahoos. Let's see. Got numbers. He's on Twitter. He does write articles like the rest of us yahoos. Let's see. Due up here for Inman Post 45. I believe it's going to be 7, 8, and 9, which is Owens, Moss, and Sewell. And that it is. That pitch, something off speed, right down the middle, but below the knees for ball 1. We'll hear a few that come on blues, but that pitch was low. 1-0, swung on, chopper, third base side, but foul. And it'll go up the embankment. I have yet to tell you all about what is going on in this ballpark. It's the only Tory left field, that pitch outside corner called a strike, and it's 1-2. There is a big oak tree. I'm going to guess it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 100, 120 years old that's in play. It is in play. The pitch swung on and a hard hit fly ball right side. Trouble if it's fair, but it will go foul over near the other interesting part of this yard that Sam Chish just found out the hard way. I would say, what do you think that is? Roughly 6 feet in change of elevation to where the batting cages is down the first base line. So there is a white line, and simply what that means is that the ball goes over there. So let's say, for instance, it's a fair ball, but it goes over that white line. It's a dead ball. The other thing is, when we saw this the other night, or a couple weeks ago, I should say, the pitch, inside corner, off strike 3, great pitch. Outstanding pitch from Lane Ross, pain in the black.
Busted on inside.
And we learned this. So if a fielder catches the ball on the other side of that line and has both feet standing on the ground or has completely gone over the chalk and stepped both feet, that is not a play. That is a foul ball. But if his foot is in the air and it was in fair territory, he steps over the line,